All right. Shalom, Lord of Christ. Shalom, Lord of Christ is Officer Tazaiwan, and this is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. We're gonna get started in like 2 seconds. I'm gonna give everybody some time to get here in the room. It's gonna be a good class tonight. So get in here, you know what I'm saying? Get your water, get your snacks, get everything you need, because we about to get this thing started. All right? Shalom. Yeah. Y'all already know what it is, man. We coming in hot. Y'all already know what it is, man. This is Officer Tazaiwan. I'm down here with Matazi Ya'ala. You understand what I'm saying? We down here in Delaware right now. So if you in any of the surrounding cities, you know what I'm saying? I should not see you in the chat. You need to be right here in class, you know what I'm saying, getting it on with your brothers and sitting your butt in one of these seats right here. You understand what I'm saying? That goes for Sister Sue. You know what I'm saying? If you in any of the surrounding cities, like close to a camp, then you need to get in there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, look, I understand, you know, times get hard when we don't have our vehicles, but you can get on that bus, get on that train, go and get in the subway, figure out what way is the best way for you to get so you can get in there and get in class. That's the thing right there. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? And if you, if it don't apply, let it fly. All right. But shout out to everybody that's in the chat. All right. So we got Vanessa Coleman. All right, Vanessa Coleman. We got Vanessa Coleman in here. Let me see. Hold on. Salakia. We got Vanessa Coleman in the building. Kaga War in the building. What's going on, Kaga War? We got Wyatt Quam. Yeah, that's right. Kanal, what's going on, Kanal? Shalom. That was talking about you outside. To you. Let me see. Who else is in here? All right, Tara. All right, so we're going to get it on. Make sure y'all take notes, of course. And, we'll get it on. And anybody that's, close to Wilmington, you know what I mean, you should be in here. The address is on the bottom of the screen, and you can find everything you need right there. Hold on, Salakia. I'm just going to grab my scripture real quick. All right, so if y'all got any questions, y'all go ahead and get the questions in, right? And we're going to go ahead and get it on. All right. Let me get my handy dandy highlighter, because I come to class prepared, all right? That's what you want. Everybody should come to class prepared. Passover is over now. It's over. That means that it's time to get back to business. It's time for us to get ourselves back on track. Is we had that time where we was able to enjoy our families, enjoy our wives, you know what I'm saying? Wives was able to enjoy their husbands, enjoy their kids. But right now, we back to work, back to learning, back to studying these scriptures, back to holding this truth down, all right? Shalom, Lord of Christ.
Shalom.
All right. We got, let me see, just starting painting the building. just starting painting the building. We got Tamika Shanada. All right. Paraj Kapah. What's going on, Paraj? I see you over there. I see you, Paraj. Yeah, all right. So we're gonna go. I want to get some scriptures on selfishness, right? Because and then also we're gonna go into the book of Jasher and the book of what the hell is it called? Enoch. Go ahead.
It was Enoch and Jubilee.
Yeah, Enoch and Jubilee and Jasher. Slaki. We're gonna go and we're gonna touch on that. Sister asked me about that today. So we're gonna go into that a little bit. We're gonna be debunking it, of course. Right. I mean, the book of Jasher, I mean, all those books is just crazy. And they have nothing to do with the scriptures, all right? And if you out there and you believe in the book of Jubilee or the book of Jasher or whatever it is, then, you know, by all means, let's hear it in the chat, all right? We'll address everything, and we'll just take it from there, all right? Boom. Could I get, now one thing that we got to understand, I just want to get a couple of scriptures in real quick, but one thing that we got to understand, the water, warrior. No sweat, the water. One thing that we got to understand, especially with being in this truth, man, is that when we do things for each other, we got to make sure that we don't do it, expecting anything back. When we do things, we got to make sure that, we're doing it and we're being unselfish about it. Right. We got to be kind with the way that we handle each other, kind with the way sisters treat their husbands, kind the way brothers treat their wives. You understand? Because we are brothers and sisters at the end of the day. Right. Now, when it comes to how we treat each other, we're supposed to be unselfish, right? And I'm going to keep, every time that I get up here, I'm going to keep reiterating that because, you don't want to be the type of brother or the type of sister that, do things, it's just for your own gain. And when you do things, you want to do it unselfishly. All right. All right. So, let me get Ecclesiastes 14:3. I had to get these out. I wanted to get them out last time I was up here about 2 weeks ago. I was watching, just a sidebar, man. I was watching this documentary. It's called The Dilemma of a Dictator. It's about Kim Jong-un over in North Korea. And I was like looking at that documentary and I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like that's real power. You know what I'm saying? This cat is the only leader in the whole, country. And I'm like, how nice would that be, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is absolute power. Like this cat, he had went on a meeting with Donald Trump, right? And while they were sitting down eating dinner, and while he was eating dinner, he was telling Donald Trump how he took his uncle and beheaded his uncle. You know what I'm saying? And put his head out there for everybody to see, like small talk, and I'm like, that's how you do it. We can learn a lot from the North Koreans. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we can learn a lot from the North Koreans. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they know full well that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And they understand that they're not going to give up any of their security for nothing, because they know that the oppressor is the devil. And if we only knew that, then we'd be so much better off. When I was looking at, like, they was having these different summits and stuff all around the earth where world leaders is meeting, and I'm like, where's the African-American world leader? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's he at that's going to lead, us? And, and I just be just thinking, man, like, it's going to be a time when Christ is going to be up there. You know what I'm saying? When Christ is going to be ruling this place and he's going to be the world leader and we're going to be his people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, okay, our leader is Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Our leader is Caesar. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't got no damn brotherhood. And because we don't got no brotherhood, we're ruled by everybody. And nobody looks at us and takes us serious. When you look at like the world leaders and like, what they actually do when they come together. Like, world leaders talk about important stuff. You know, they talk about things that they are specifically going to benefit for their people and their people, period. They're not doing it to try to, be cool with nobody. Of course, with, world leaders, when they meet and stuff like that, they have, when they meet, they have, they figure out what one side wants and what the other side wants. But then at some point they make like a compromise in the middle. But at the same time, they don't try to get love from the other nation that they're having talks with, peace talks. They're not trying to do none of that. They only worry about their self-interest and what's best for their people. And if we could understand that, then we would actually be on a stage where we could get respected by a Kim Jong, you know what I'm saying? Or, a leader around the world. And they would look at us with respect, but nobody respects African Americans, man, and Hispanics. None of them leaders that's on the top, like Putin and all them cats around the world, like the leader of what the hell is that? China and Japan and North Korea and South Korea and all them different places, man. They could give a damn about Negro issues, you know what I'm saying? And what they're more concerned with is their people. And the reason why, like, they're able to do those things is because they have brotherhood. They have total brotherhood for their people. And because we don't have it, this is why, like, we're on TikTok all day. We're not concerned with the important things in life, the important things that has to do with, running a nation, like military, you know what I'm saying? Like protection of your people. Like that's what life is about. Life is about war. And if you can't see that, I tell everybody, watch that documentary. It's on YouTube. It's called A Dictator's Dilemma. And it's about Kim Jong and how he's trying to modernize his people and get all the sanctions off of his people over in North Korea. But at the same time, what America is trying to tell him to do is they'll give him the economy back and they'll let him, be able to flourish and feed his people. But he got to give up all his nuclear weapons. And he's not trying to give up his nuclear weapons. Why? Because he understands that if he gives up his nuclear weapons, then the oppressor can come and take him over whenever they want. So before he's willing to do that, he'll let his people starve to death with the famine. You understand? So that's what we can learn from the North Koreans. Shalom, Lord Christ. We can learn a lot from them, right? So let me get that Ecclesiastes. Hold on, wait a minute. Ecclesiastes 14:3. Hold on. Ecclesiastes 14:3. Hold on, let me see. Brother had it wrong. Yeah, he got it wrong. Yeah, it's Ecclesiastes. Wait a minute, Ecclesiasticus. Yeah, you're right. Salaki. Go ahead, you're right.
Ecclesiasticus 14, verse 3. Riches are not comely for.
Hold on. Read it one more time. You was muted.
Salakia. Ecclesiasticus 14 and verse 3. Riches are not comely for a niggard.
Say that one more time.
Riches are not comely for a niggard.
Yeah, riches are not comely for a niggard. You know what I'm saying? Like a niggard is in old English is a person is selfish. A selfish person. You know what I'm saying? And riches won't do them no good because you're not going to help anybody when you get it. And so many of our people are just rich and niggards. You know what I'm saying? And niggardly. And because if they wasn't, then we would be in a better position as a people than we are right now. And look, I'm gonna be saying it for the rest of the year. We can learn something from the North Korean people. We can definitely learn from the North Korean people. We can learn from who else? We can learn from the people in Ukraine, right? We can learn from a lot of these other nations that's out there. And the one thing that we can learn is that we got to start having some sort of brotherhood in here. You know what I mean? Not here in the school, but you get my point, right? We got to start having brotherhood on a large scale so that we can be able to be respected on the main. We're not even, you know what's so crazy? We're not even on the national stage. You get my point? Like we're not even on the national stage. Like every nation has a ruler of the nation. You know what I'm saying? Like every nation, whether it's Canada, whether it's Canada, China, Japan, Iraq, Iran, you name it, right? They all have a leader. Who's our leader? Who's the leader of black people? Who? Jesse Jackson?
Right now, Jesse Jackson.
Jesse Jackson, who else?
Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton, who else?
At one time, Barack Obama. You can go on and on.
And guess what? They ain't nowhere. On the national scale, they ain't even in the building. You know who's in the building for us? Joe Biden.
Right.
That's because that's who's our leader. Another nation. That is, oh man, it's when you see it, I tell you about, watch documentaries, man. Watch documentaries and just see like the things that are at stake on a higher level. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you'll just be like, wow, like, where's our representation? We don't have none. Why? Because we don't have no brotherhood. We don't got no sisterhood at all as a nation. And because we don't have those things, we're able to be ruled, dominated. And one thing that we got to understand is that being dominated is only a problem for the people that's being dominated. Because everybody else, they don't want the domination to stop, right? Because they make money off of what? The domination. Right. So they don't want us to work for our best interests. They want us to work for their best interests because they're only concerned with their people, right? And it's because we're what? Say it one more time.
Riches are not comely for a nigger.
Mm-hmm.
And what should an envious man do with money?
Right. What are you going to do with money? Not a damn thing. We got all the money in the world. We got billionaires in our nation. We got billionaires. We got millionaires. We got all of that good stuff. All the people with all the bread. Everybody talk about, we just got to come together. We just got to come together and do what? What, give all the money to you? Yeah, that's what it is. This is lady I seen on TikTok with all these videos talking about, we got to come together. We got to come together. Like what? We going to give all our money to you? No. Looking half crazy on TikTok, telling everybody that we should all come together when it's not actually practical. Go ahead. Without
sir.
the truth. Go ahead.
Be like Black Lives Matters. The people that run Black Lives Matters.
Right.
The one they buy $1 million homes with all the money they done raised.
$1 million homes.
Yeah, they don't care nothing about what we going through or what our people's going through.
You know what they could be doing? They could be buying like 8,000 acres. 10,000 acres worth of land. You know what I'm saying? And building houses on the land, inside of the land, right? Once you build the land, once you get the land, 10,000 acres, then you build the houses on the land. Then you make your own police force to watch over the land. It's private property. Right. The regular cops can't come on there, you know what I'm saying? Because it's private property. And then you start to build your nation up from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Like how I said, the kingdom of heaven comes not by observation. Right? That we're not going to get the kingdom of heaven by sitting here waiting on Christ. That's church doctrine. Right. See what I'm saying? Like Christ gave us what we need to actually bring the kingdom of heaven here. But we don't do it because we're just waiting for somebody to give us the kingdom of heaven. And it's not going to work. We're sitting back waiting on somebody to give us the kingdom. We're waiting on Joe Biden to give us the kingdom of heaven. And then we vote the next person in. I don't even see why we still even out there voting anyway. Because if for a black person, Hispanic or Native Indian, that's out there still voting and that's going to still vote in 2024, that is a testament of your poor mental health. Straight up. Like you are literally like clinically crazy to think that, your vote is going to matter and your vote is going to do something and changing the flow of things or anything. Because if you watch and you see on the national level, everybody is out for self. All nations are out for their self. No nation is going to give another nation nothing. period, because that's not the way life works. And that's why it's very, very, imperative that brothers and sisters get in this truth. You understand? The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Why? Because the knowledge that we have is very practical. And I'll tell you what's not practical. Coming together with all nations. That's not practical. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you what else is not practical. Voting for the next oppressor that's going to get in office that's going to do something for black people. That's not practical. That's very stupid and foolish, right? But I tell you what is practical. Us coming together. Us following these commandments so that we can get the devil off our back. You understand what I'm saying? So that we can see how other nations are and we don't change even if they change. Meaning this, if they do something nice for us, fine. But you're still the devil the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Chinese people, yeah, you did something nice, cool, but you still a heathen.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Like, you don't matter if they come in with a nice smile on their face, whether they do, they might even save your life. Who knows? You're still the devil the Bible speaks about. Now, I'll be in this damn ambulance. You see what I'm saying? That's how we got to have that mindset. And that's how the mindset of the people in North Korea. They have that mindset. Like, it don't matter what you can do for us. You still the devil the Bible speaks of.
Right.
And they understand that full well. I mean, they are dying in the streets over there in North Korea, dying of starvation. And before they give up their nuclear weapons, they will all die of starvation before they do it. And that's practical. You know what I'm saying? What they're doing is practical because they understand that without that protection of the nuclear weapons that they have, they know America would be right in there, taking it over. And they don't want to be like South Korea, because you see how South Korea is, right? When you let the oppressor come in, it's just nasty, right? You got the LGBT down in South Korea. You know what I mean? You got the sex clubs and, all kinds of nasty, filthy, disgusting cesspools, that anything that America can bring is right over there in South Korea, right over the border. And they don't want their country to be like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's totally up to, their leaders to figure, to run their country whatever the way that they want. But riches are not comely for somebody who's an envious man. You know what I'm saying? Because like, what good would it be anyway? We got that right now. All right. Let me get this next scripture. You could drop that, Salakia. All right, and then we're gonna get the sister's question earlier she had about the book. What's that? The book of Enoch. All right. Ecclesiastes. Let me see. Ecclesiastes 31 and 24.
Okay, kind of one kind. Ecclesiasticus 31, verse 24.
Is that the one I want? All right, you got it, warrior.
But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur.
Right, because you stingy with what you got. Right? Read it one more time.
Ecclesiasticus 31 and verse 24. But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole
city shall murmur. You know what I'm saying? Because you're stingy. You're a stingy person. And the whole city's going to know that you're a stingy person. Everybody knows a person that's stingy with their stuff. You know what I'm saying? All of us know that. And guess what? We're going to murmur about you. We're going to talk about you because you're a person that's stingy. Go ahead. Keep reading.
And the testimonies of his niggardness shall not be doubted of.
That's right. Ain't going to be no doubt. These pastors are niggards, right? They're niggardly. Right? That's exactly what they are. They're people who, and we talk about them all the time, right? Because of their niggardness. Right? We talk about them because that's what they do. They're stingy with everything. You know what I'm saying? Look, all them stinking pastors, all these stinking political leaders, all these stinking celebrities that, everybody looks up to. They're just so, everybody's just so like baffled, like, Megan Thee Stallion lied about having sex with what the hell is his name?
Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez. What the hell else you thought she was gonna do? Yeah, she's gonna lie. What the hell you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like people are like, oh my God, what? She lied. I can't believe she lied. Yeah, of course. That's what this whole place is built on. Liars. And Christianity is a lying religion. The whole thing is nothing should be a surprise anymore. You get my point? Right. Nothing should be a surprise. And it's just so crazy. People be like, I can't believe she would lie like that. It's like when they talk about now, what's his name? Young Thug and them got wrapped up in the RICO. Right. What? That's surprising to somebody? What you think? Are you surprised that the oppressor is trying to lock everybody up with the RICO? Oh, it shouldn't be that surprising to you because didn't they get Casanova? Casanova 2 times, right? He got locked up, won the RICO. They got Tekashi. He didn't put the whole treyway. He locked up a whole set on the RICO, you know, and all the other rappers that's going to jail behind the RICO. And all you doing when you get in the music industry now is just you just getting in there and just a short amount of time, and then they're gonna knock you out and get you off. You know what I'm saying? Get you out of there, right? Right, and we would be a lot better off, and these things wouldn't happen to us where the oppressor can just sit back and just let you rock out for, a couple years and then come get you when they're ready to get you. You know, I mean, at some point we got to wake up and get a lot smarter than what we are now. Right. Right. Keep reading.
Verse 25. Mm-hmm. It says, show not their valiantness in wine.
Say that again.
Shew not their valiantness in wine.
Well, let me get where you at, Slakia. I can't even see it.
It was on verse 24, sir. Slakia. Slakia. And the testimonies of his niggardness shall not be doubted of.
Right. And show not their valiantness in wine, for wine is to destroy many. Right. Because that's how, a lot of people. Let me look up that word, valiantness. Could somebody look that up real quick? Valiantness. Valiantness in wine.
Valiantness.
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 Valiant.
Yeah, valiantness.
It's sorry, guys.
You got it, warrior.
Possessing or exhibiting valor, brave. A valiant effort, it says, to be strong. Mm-hmm.
So your valiantness in wine, meaning this, like because he, you know how like a person like that's valiant in wine, like a person that, because they do things because they drinking or because they, you get what I'm saying? It's not like how they really are. You get what I'm saying?
Without one car, sir.
Right? Because those things destroy many people. Right. Go ahead.
So we would say he got that liquid courage.
Yeah, he got the liquid, right. You know what I'm saying? Because right. And and a lot of people, because don't think for a second just because he get drunk with you, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these cats are, you know what I'm saying? Because they get drunk with you and they have money, like they're gonna actually do something for you or give you anything. Right. Right? Because that has destroyed many. All right. Let me get one last scripture before I go to the sister. And Isaiah 32:6.
Isaiah 32 and verse 6.
I keep thinking that's a somebody's phone going off. Yeah, I keep thinking that's somebody's phone. It's like a
Isaiah 32 and verse 6. Mm-hmm. For the vile person will speak.
Is that it? That's not the one I want, but go ahead.
For the vile person.
The vile person,
will speak violently.
Villainy.
Mm-hmm. And his heart will work iniquity.
Right. Like that's what the oppressor does to us. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the scripture that I wanted, but I'll just go ahead and break it down. The vile person will always speak bad things. You know what I'm saying? That person will always, be unbrotherly, right? The oppressor will always speak villainy, like how he can, ways that he can destroy you, right? Read on.
And his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy.
Right, that's what they do, right? They always gonna speak evil, you know what I'm saying? And always gonna, a vile person is gonna do what a vile person does, right? Go ahead, read on.
And to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail.
Right, because the people that are like that stinking pastor upstairs, you know, that child molester upstairs. Right. Go ahead. Yeah, that like that pastor upstairs, you know what I'm saying? He's always gonna, you know, make those people out there that's coming to his church are trying to get full. You know, a lot of them old ladies, man, walking up there with canes, and old men, they just trying to figure out a way to the truth, right? And they can't get to it because you got this idiot upstairs that they're going to, you know, molesting kids. And of course, if he got, you know, what's that? He got what, 3 months home confinement when he did get locked up for it. You think he not doing it now?
Right.
You know what I mean? A child molester is just a child molester, straight up. Like, you know, in Israel, that's how you had to kill a child molester had to just die because we had to crush that seed out. Right. Because, you know, child molestation, that sticks with a child for their whole life. You know what I'm saying? And as a result of the child molestation, you know, that's where we get a lot of these women out here, you know, that are going through what they're going through. And of course, the men too, as well, you know, going through what they're going through. And you know what they say, hurt people. You know what I mean? And that all stems from child molestation. All right. But you can go ahead and drop that. All right. So let's get into
kind of one kind.
All right. So, all right, Terrell, you still on there? Can you, you still in there? All right, Bayana. All right, what's going on, Bayana? Hamsi Richardson. All right, so y'all recall. What's going on, y'all recall? All right, Terrell, you still in here? All right, no sweat. So we're gonna go ahead. All right, we got we got Parboff in here. She changed her name. All right, I'm gonna give you a Don DeMarco this week. Don DeMarco. Name change. All right, that's what I want to see. All right, Isaiah War. I see you, Isaiah War. All right. Arlen Fortson. All right, Arlen. All right.
Shit like that.
All right. And who is this? Dagwin? Venez? All right. Let's get it.
Shit like that.
All right. Here we go. Let's get it on. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, I'm going to bring it up right here. Y'all can see it on the thing? Y'all can see on the TV?
Kind of one kind.
All right, no sweat. So we're going to talk about, this is the first one we're going to bring out. All right. And that's what we're talking about, right? The book of Jasher, right? Now, this is the thing, right? Now, the sister had a question, right? She had a question earlier. She said that, you know, someone was asking her about and bringing up the book of Enoch, bringing up the book of Jasher, you know, things like that. And not only her, but also other people that I've talked to who have brought this out. And by doing some research on it, I've seen that this is like a real thing, you know, in Israel, where a lot of groups are, you know, bringing this whole thing out about the book of Jasher and Enoch and all that. And also you got fake Israelite groups who are using this as a buffer, I guess, between the scriptures and whatever. But I'm going to bring out a couple of scriptures and I'm going to show y'all the contradictions with it. And I'm going to show you how it was just a piece of trash. All right? All right. Boom. All right. Let me get Ecclesiasticus. No matter of fact, let me get Isaiah 34:16. Y'all write these scriptures down, all right? Isaiah 34 and 16.
Kind of one kind.
Let me get there with you, warrior. Isaiah 34 and 16. Help the sister out. 34 and 16. All right, you got it.
Kind of one kind, sir. Isaiah 34 and verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
And what?
And read.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate.
Right, that's it. Right. So you got what you got. You got Genesis and Revelations. Right. This is all you need right here. Right. The books that are in here, that's all you need. You don't need to make this with anything. Right. Matter of fact, if you got this one right here, this is the one I got right here. It's a smaller Bible, but this is it. This has the Apocrypha in it too. Right. This has the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament. The Old, New, and Apocrypha, right? 1611 edition, right? This everything you need is right here, right? This is how you will get everything you're looking for. You don't need to add anything else in there. I remember we was at camp a few times, and people came up talking about, I don't know what, I was always wondering, like, what these people keep talking about, these Nephilim, you know what I'm talking about? The Nephilim, giants, and all that other kind of stuff. So we're going to put a lot of that to bed, all right? Read it one more time, Warrior. You don't got to start it from the top, but just read it from the beginning.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. Okay, Most High in Christ. All right. Let's get Ecclesiastes 12 and 12, and then I'm gonna go to one more scripture after that. Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. All right. So I'm just laying my foundation. All right, for this sister. All right. Ecclesiastes. I mean, kind of one kind, sir.
No sweat,
Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 12. And further, by these, my son, be admonished of making of many books. There is no end.
So it says, and further, by these, my son, right?
Be admonished.
Be admonished of making what?
Many books. There is no end. And much study is a weariness of flesh.
Right. Now, when you come into this truth, right, and you get the foundation, right, which is the scriptures from Genesis to Revelations, right, you get the foundation. You can go off, you know what I'm saying, with seasoning, you know what I'm saying, brothers that are grounded in the truth. You can go off and you can read books, right? Because we read a lot of books. If you look around me, there's books all around me, right? This is not what this is talking about. But this is talking about is brothers who are not grounded in the truth, right? That's just going and spinning around every single, oppressor that put a book out. You just going, your mind is spinning somewhere else, and you can't get grounded in anything because you want to be Egyptian, you want to be, from the Dogon tribe, you want to be Islam, you want to be, 5%er, you want to be Egyptologist, you want to be an Israelite, you want to be a Christian, you want to be an American, you want to be everything, and you don't have no foundation. Right. And this is what this is talking about. Now, these many books is going to leave you what? Much study, it says, with of making,
and much books. Study is weariness of the flesh.
Right, is weariness of the flesh, meaning that those things are not going to make you whole. You know what I'm saying? You're always going to be wondering, what's the truth? Is that the truth? Oh, maybe that's the truth. Oh, maybe they got some truth. You're never going to really get grounded in it. Go ahead, warrior.
Kind of one kind is like a person that's on a merry-go-round.
Yeah.
The merry-go-round keep going around, and wherever he get off at is where he gonna seek whatever he think that's right for him.
Right. The conscious community is like that.
The conscious community,
right? They're like that.
The LGBT community, the Black Lives Matter community, Jesse Jackson's community, Al Sharpton's community. All those communities are where Black people, they just seeking to feel some type of redemption or
weariness of heart,
some strength.
Exactly.
They want some type of strength, but they don't know that the strength is in the Lord.
Right, exactly.
In the ISUPK. That's why
right.
the strength
That's right.
is.
Most High in Christ.
Shit like that, shit like that, shit like that, shit like that, shit like that.
And that's what everybody should know. You know what I'm saying? Like, but and that's why we're going through the scriptures, and I'm laying my foundation down because we're gonna get the sister right. All right.
Kind of one kind, sir.
Okay. Revelations 22 and 19. Well, 18 and 19. Revelations 22 and 18. All right. Then we're gonna go and we're gonna pull some discrepancies that I have. Revelations 22 and 19. 18 and 19.
Kind of one kind, sir.
Revelation
22 and verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book.
Mm-hmm.
If any man shall add unto these things,
mm-hmm.
God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
Right. So if you add to this book right here, this is a cold cut right here.
Right.
If you show this in Revelations, the last book. Matter of fact, ain't 22 the last? Yeah, that's the this is the last chapter of the New Testament. It can't get no newer than Revelations. All right. But my point is to say that it said that if you would add anything to this book, this particular book, what it says is going to happen?
Plagues that are written in this, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
Right, exactly, because there's no need for you, like we read before, where it says that none shall want her mate. So you don't need to add anything to this book. You got Genesis all the way to Revelations. You got the Apocrypha right there. You got all the times in history. You know what I'm saying? Malachi, that's what's the Persians, the Medes. You got the Greeks with the Apocrypha. You got the Romans with the New Testament. Right there. And then you can go back from Egypt to Assyria, Babylon, Assyrian, and all of that, going all the way up until you get to the book of Malachi, which is the Persian Medo Empire. And then you go on into the Greek and the Roman. And now we're here in America now, making some new scriptures. You know what I'm saying? But you get my point. All right. So keep reading.
Verse 19.
Uh-huh.
And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life.
Right. So then you got like the Jehovah Witnesses, right? They got scriptures that's taking all out the Bible.
Right.
They taking away, ain't they?
Right.
That's what they said. They said, if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life. Right. So you got the Jehovah Witnesses. They don't even have that Christ came back to save that which was lost. That's taken out. Right. Right.
Kind of one kind.
Taken out. The book of morons, not the book of Mormons, the book of morons. Right. They got scriptures taken out. Talking about black people are cursed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like stuff that's not biblical, stuff that they're adding to this book. Right. The NIV. Right. NIV is false. Right. The Gideon's Bible is false. Talking about an NIV that we came over here and offered ourselves for sale. Right. Come on now. Right. And so those books, and you by adding those books and taking away things out of this book, you know what I mean? We see what's going to happen. All right. Right. So let's go to, I don't know. I got it up here, so I'll read it. All right. Just for I don't think any one of y'all got the Book of Jubilee, which is good. But I got an app on my phone that actually does have it on there. It's on my I got this Bible app called, it's a King James version. It just say KJVA. And on the bottom of it, it has the Old Testament. I got the New Testament, and then they got the Apocrypha right there in green. And then at the bottom of everything, it has the Enoch, Jubilee, and Jasher. Now, I never go down here, but I'm going to go down here for the sake of the sister. All right. All right. All right. Boom. All right. So let's find out about Jasher, right? The book of Jasher, right? Now, the book of Jasher, I want y'all to know, is written by... It's translated by this guy right here. Hold on. I'm going to put him up on the screen for y'all. This cat right here. Who would have known? Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought, right? Of course it would be translated by him, right? But anyway, all right, so let's go into the book of Jasher, right? I'm going to go to the book of Jasher, and I'm going to go, and I want you to get Genesis 24 and 67, all right? Now, Watch this. Watch this. Watch this, Ahabba. Watch this. The book of Jasher, 24 and 39. Watch this. We're going to get to the book of Enoch, right?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, yeah. I'm just saying, watch this. All right, this is the book of Jasher. Y'all forgive me, man. The book of Jasher, chapter 24, verse 39. And they all blessed the Lord who brought this thing about, and they gave him Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, for a wife for Isaac, right? And the young woman was of very comely appearance. She was a virgin, and Rebekah was 10 years old in those days.
Huh?
Y'all hear what I just said?
Kind of one kind.
What did I just say?
Kind of Salakia, sir. You said she was 10 years old, sir.
Right. It just said in the
Rebekah
book
was
of
10 years
Jasher
old.
that our forefather was a goddamn pedophile.
Right.
That's what it just said. Now, I jack everything in this Bible, but I can't jack that. You get my point? Like I can't follow, a faith that comes from pedophiles. I can't do it. Right?
Kind of one
and
kind.
It says, and the young woman was very comely of appearance. She was a virgin, and Rebekah was 10 years old in those days. Right? Now I'm gonna keep reading. And it says, and Bethuel and Laban and his children made a feast on that night. This is the night they talking about when they got married, right? And his men came and drank and rejoiced on that night, right? Hold on, Salaki, let me bring it to verse 45. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah. So it's saying that Isaac was 40 years old. He was 40 and she was 10. And he had sex with a 10-year-old to have, Isaac and Rebekah had Jacob and Esau.
Right.
Right? All right, let's get it in the scriptures, right? I'm gonna show this. All right. Sis, I hope you're writing this down. All right. All right, Genesis, what's this? 20. I want to go to Genesis 24 and 67, but also I want to go to Genesis. Now, when a woman, and also too, right? When they talk about in the scriptures, when it talks about a woman is a virgin, you know what I'm saying? She's a young woman of marriageable age, right? Marriageable age. If a girl is 10. She's not marriageable. She's not of marriageable age. This is not, Islam. You know what I'm saying? This is not Muhammad and Khadijah when she was 9 years old. This is not that, right? We roll by a whole different code. You understand what I'm saying? And a woman who is, even if she's on her flower, there's women that get their flower at 10 or whatever, 10, 12, I don't know, 13, 14. Right? But that doesn't mean that she's ready to be married. You understand what I'm saying? And so how you see how I said that she was 10 years old, right? But we're going to read the account. Go ahead, Genesis 24 and 67. Matter of fact,
kind of one kind, sir.
Matter of fact, okay, so I'm going to set it up for y'all, right? I want you to go back to verse 44, right? Before you go to 67, right? Now, what's going on here is Abraham sent his servant to go to Laban and them, right? To get a wife for Jacob. I mean, not Jacob, Isaac, right? So he sent his servant to go out there. Boom. He goes over there he prays to the Lord, and he goes to get water from a well. A sister, he prays that, the Lord sends the right sister. She comes over, she offers water for him and the camels that he brought. And she did. So he ended up going to the family and he started telling them, hey, look, this is a message I had from the Lord. I think that she's the one. And also I was sent by Abraham. You get my point? So now we're going into the scripture just to cut real quick what they were talking about, right? Because they said that she was 10 years old, right? Let's read it in verse 44.
Kind of one kind, sir.
Uh-huh.
Genesis 24 and verse 44.
Mm-hmm.
And she said to me,
Uh-huh.
both drink thou and I will also draw for thy camels. And let the same be the woman.
The what?
The woman.
The what?
The woman.
So a 10-year-old is a woman?
La'ah.
Get my point? A 10-year-old ain't a woman, right? She's a kid.
Right.
Keep reading.
Whom the Lord hath appointed out of the master's son.
Right. And then even if you go back when it says a virgin, neither had any man known her, you wouldn't have to say that not any man known her, because if we go from Western, ideology of words, right? A virgin would be just somebody that never had sex.
Right.
Right. But it says she's a virgin, right? Which is a woman of marriageable age, right? And she didn't have sex with anybody. Go ahead.
Verse 38 and 39 says it too.
Go ahead.
It says Genesis 24, verse 38 and verse 39. But thou shalt go unto my father's house and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son. Verse 39. And I said unto my master, peradventure, the woman will not follow me.
Right, exactly. So this is a clear contradiction, right, of this this so-called whatever the hell this is, Book of Joshua, all right? So let's move on, right? I'm just gonna get a couple more for this sister, all right? All right. All right, sis. All right, Joshua, this is chapter 81. And y'all can write these down, look them up yourself, just to get it so y'all can cut anybody trying to come at y'all with any of this nonsense. All right, the book of Joshua 81 and 40. And when the children of Israel had entered the sea, the Egyptians came after them, and the waters of the sea resumed upon them, and they all sank in the water. This is talking about the Egyptians. I remember when we came down and Moses parted the Red Sea, right? And the Egyptians were following us. But in here it says, and the waters of the sea resumed upon them, and they all sank in the water, and not one man was left except Pharaoh, who gave thanks to the Lord and believed in him. Therefore, the Lord did not cause him to perish at that time with the Egyptians. You hear this, Mataziala? All right. So let's just cut this real quick and let's go to Psalms 106 and 11. Psalms 106 and 11. Where'd not go?
Kind of one kind, sir.
Psalms 109. What's this? 106 and 11. Psalms 106 and 11.
Psalms, kind of one kind, sir. Psalms 106, verse 11. And the waters covered their enemies.
And the what?
And the waters covered their enemies. There was not one of them left.
See that? But in here it said that Pharaoh was left. But right here it said not one. It said, read it one more time. I think maybe I could have been wrong. Slack it.
Psalms 106, verse 11.
And you can actually go up to 9 and come down. They let you know that it is talking about when we went into the water, into the Red Sea, right? But go ahead, verse 11.
Kind of one kind, sir. Psalms 106, verse 11. And the waters covered their enemies. There was not one of them left.
Not one. All right, Danielle. I see you, Daniela.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Okay, Daniela. All right, Daniela up in this joint. That's right. But I got some more for y'all. We ain't got to the one that the sister was talking about. All right. So I want and let's get one more. Psalms 136 and 15.
Kind of one kind, sir.
Psalms 136 and 15.
Psalms 136 and verse 15. But overthrew the Pharaoh.
But overthrew who?
The Pharaoh. And his host. In the Red Sea. For his mercy endured forever.
Right. So right there it just said, but overthrew Pharaoh, right? And his host in the Red Sea. right? But here it's trying to say that Pharaoh got saved.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But in the scriptures, see how the scriptures cut that?
Right.
Right? This is why these books are not backed up by, the what's that called? The Masoretic text. It's not backed up by let me see, where is it at? I think I had it on here written down. It's not backed up by the Greek Septuagint, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Masoretic text, the Codex Sinaiticus, and so there is a book of, there's fragments of the book of Enoch, right? There's fragments of Enoch, right? That they do have in like fragments of it, meaning like a piece of it. You know what I mean? Like a piece. Like it's not like the whole thing, like how we have, like we got the Dead Sea Scrolls and we have the ancient Hebrew records, right? And we have the Greek records that make it a complete book, right? But then, you'll read, I'm gonna show y'all some scriptures about the Enoch, and I'm gonna show y'all some about Jasher, right? Now, these is pieces that they found in the what's that called? In the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? But what these oppressors are doing is they're taking, they're surmising the rest of it. And they're adding stuff in that has nothing to do with anything. And people are eating this up. And it was just a way for them to make money. Right? Because the book, the what's that called? The Book of Enoch is it's translated by, I got his name right here. It's translated by Salakia. I got it written. Salakia. What the hell I have it written down at? P.H. Charles. Enoch was translated in 1917 by R.H. Charles, and Jubilees was translated in 1917 by R.H. Charles. That's this cat right here. Hold on. We'll bring him up again. Him right there. That's him. That's the cat right there. And R.H. Charles, yeah, that's him right there. That's the guy who translated that so-called translated the Book of Enoch and Jubilee. All right, go figure. All right, boom. All right, I'm gonna keep moving on. Right. All right. I'm gonna skip that for now. All right, 2 Samuel 1:18. Now it does mention it in the scriptures, but it's not with the oppressor is bringing. It's not that. It's like they took they made a book about it. You know what I mean? And they made those scriptures that they made was made to try to, like, wait till I get to it. I'm gonna show y'all, but it's like stuff that was put in there to try to, like, they got like the name, all kinds of angels and all kinds of stuff that doesn't have anything to do with the scriptures, right? And they're trying to, like, even like God forgave Esau. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that to throw you off. And this is what we got to understand. All right. So you got it, warrior.
Kind of one kind, sir.
1 Samuel 1:18. I'm gonna show y'all where people are getting that from too.
Is it 1 Samuel or 2 Samuel, sir?
Okay. What's that? I wanted first. What's that? I wanted 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel 1:18.
Kind of one kind, sir.
No sweat.
2 Samuel chapter 1 verse 18. Also he bade them teach of the children of Judah the use of the bow. Behold, it was written in the book of Jasher.
See that? You see that? That's where people are getting that from. You know what I mean? Now, I'm pretty sure it is a book of Jasher out there. You know what I mean? But it ain't that. You know what I mean? Right. What this oppressor wrote. You know what I mean? It wasn't found. Like I said, it's a fragment. You see what I'm saying? A fragment of it was found with the Dead Sea Scrolls. Right. So what the oppressor does is he takes the fragment of it and then build a whole book around it. And say, okay, well, this is what probably would say, you know how they come up with theology and all that kind of stuff and say, well, this is probably what he was saying here in this verse here. He was saying that it should have been this way. And and by the way that he says it right here, he is really trying to forgive Esau, because it's like hermeneutics. And you get my point. That's the kind of stuff that they try to make and build around what we have here to fit their narrative. Right, to spin you around. And the brothers that are spent around like that is because you're not grounded in the school and grounded in the truth of the scriptures. All right. Okay. All right. Let's go to Enoch. Right. Enoch. Let's go to the famous scripture everybody go to in Enoch. Right. All right. Let me see. Enoch. It is 7:1. Enoch 7:1.
In the book of Enoch?
Yeah.
He going in.
Yeah. Okay. All right, 7:2. Enoch 7:2. Let me get Genesis 6:1. All right, it says, and when the angels, the sons of heaven, beheld them, they became enamored of them, saying to each other, let us select for ourselves wives from the progeny of men, and let us beget children. So this is what they talking about when they talk about angels came down and had sex with women, right? And we all know that angels don't have sex with women, with people. You get what I'm saying? You can go to 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, you can go in that, and where he said that there's bodies celestial and bodies terrestrial, right? And there's one glory of one and glory of the other, right? So it's a totally different, that cuts that whole thing. But what they're trying to say is that angels came from heaven and had sex with women, right? So let's go to the scripture where they cut that up. Go ahead.
Kind of one con, sir. This is Genesis 6:1.
Uh-huh.
And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Verse 2, the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they looked and they took them wives of all which they chose.
Keep reading. That was something I want you to read.
The verse 3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
With who?
With man.
Say it one more time.
With man.
Right. So if angels came down that had sex with women, and then it said that they married, right? If you take me back to the part where it said they married.
The sons and daughters, verse 2. Slacky. Genesis 6:2. The sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
Wives. So they came down here and got married. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay. We're not gonna go from the Israelite standpoint. We're going to go from the Christian standpoint, because this is who believes this, right? So to them, sex ain't marriage, right? So angels came down and actually had relationships and went and got married, like an actual marriage. Like you get my point? Not sex. We ain't talking about Israelites. We're talking about the church, because this is what they believe. The church said that, they think that this is a book that they can, that is the missing link. Go ahead.
Slacky, sir, but kind of one kind. I don't think that they came down and got no papers from no judge or priest or went to no church, and a priest or pastor married an angel unto a woman.
Right, exactly.
That's
go ahead.
Virtually.
You an angel up in heaven with all the angels,
and you gonna go past all the angels,
Right.
to come have sex with this funky broad?
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. And then it said it took them wives. But it said, but skip me down to it, right. And skip me down to verse when it says, "In my heart will not always what? Strive with who?"
Kind of one kind, sir. It's Genesis 6 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord said,
Mm-hmm.
my spirit shall not always strive with man.
Uh-huh. With man. Keep reading. It's another one I want you to
For
read.
that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years old.
So he put a limitation on life. So he put a limitation on the life of an angel.
La.
You get my point? Like this is ridiculous, right? But I'm gonna go down in the book of Enoch, right? Verse 10. They took wives. This is Enoch 7 and 10. They took wives, each choosing for himself, whom they began to approach, and with whom they cohabited, teaching them sorcery, incantations, and the dividing of roots and trees. And the women conceiving brought forth giants. No, I'm too wild. Brought forth giants, right? Whose stature was each 300 cubits. These devoured all which the labor of men produced until it became impossible to feed them. So then it goes into how they started eating people. The giants started eating people. They started eating birds. They started eating animals and all that kind of stuff, right? So what they want us to believe is that an angel came down here, right? Had sex with a woman, right? A regular sized woman. And she gave birth to a giant that grew to be 300 cubits. It's 300 cubits. I looked it up.
Yeah.
It's like 500 feet.
It's like 1 cubit is from here to here.
Right. So 500 feet. So even if the gestation period, where they was, if they grew to be 400 or 500 feet, the gestation period where the baby was even forming in her womb would bust her open. You get my point?
Right.
It makes no sense at all.
Right.
I'm showing you how this book is stupid. It's just a made up thing by the oppressor to spin us around so that we won't be able to focus in and get rooted in the truth. Right? 300 cubits. All right.
Another Quran.
All right. I'm going to speed it up real quick. This is my last one I'm going to go to. I'm going to go to. Oh, let me get you the sons of God. Genesis 4 and 26. No, wait a minute. No, not that one. Luke 3 and 38. You can also write down Genesis 4 and 26 to give you a precept for when it says men began to call on the name of the Lord. That's when we were, after Seth, that's when we started being called the sons of God.
Right.
Right? But Adam was the son of God too. Right? But remember when Cain killed Abel, remember that seed got replaced back on the earth, right? The righteous seed of Abel got replaced back on the earth, right? Through Seth, right? And let me get Luke 3 and 38. And you can go up to, matter of fact, go up to 37 if you could. No, 3 and 37.
Kind of one kind, sir. This is Luke, verse 3 and verse 37.
Uh-huh.
Which was the son of Methuselah, which was the son of Enoch, which was the son of Jared, which was the son of Maleel, which was the son of Canaan. Verse 38, which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of God.
See that?
Of Yahweh.
See that?
Salakia.
So before we were Israelites, we were the sons of God.
Right.
So when it talks about the sons of God took on the daughters of men, this is talking about when we started having sex with other nations. That's what we were doing. The sons of God was looking at the daughters of men, and we thought that these women, these heathens, looked good. And so we started finding beauty in them. And because we found beauty in them and we didn't find that beauty in our own people, the Lord flooded the goddamn earth where there was life, right? Because that whole thing cuts the whole thing where they talk about, well, why wasn't polar bears on the ark, right? You know how you get that too. Like, well, they came up for the, how would they be in the Antarctic? No, it said wherein there was life, the breath of life, right? So where there were people at, right? The Lord flooded that, and everything died, right? The same thing is like when what's that one I'm talking about? That flooded in Louisiana.
Oh, Katrina.
See how Katrina flooded and everybody died that was in that region.
Right.
You know what I mean? People died that was in that region right there. Same thing, right? It wasn't like a total flood over everything and all of it, all the other people. But at that time, that's where people were. And that's what the Lord flooded. You know what I mean? All right. What else? All right, I think we got enough there. Let me go to this one last one in Enoch. Y'all gonna like this one. This is Enoch chapter 105 and verse 10. Yo, this is crazy. This is about Noah, right? This is Noah. It says, and now, my father, hear me, for to my son Lamech, right? Now let's find out who Lamech is, right? Let me get Genesis 5:28, and I'm gonna hold this what I got, and I'm gonna read, and then you can read that right there. So I need Genesis, 5:28. The water to you.
Sir. Genesis 5 and verse 28.
Mm-hmm.
And Lamech lived 182 years and begot a son. And he called his name Noah.
Right, which is Knock in the Hebrew, right? Which is Knock in the Hebrew. It's Noah, right? So this is Lamech is Noah's father, right? And I'm reading about Noah's father here in Enoch, the book of Enoch, right? And I'm gonna show you, right?
Know that.
It says, and now my father, hear me, for to my son Lamech. This is Enoch, right? Because Enoch is the seventh great grandfather of Lamech, right? He's the 7 times grandfather, Enoch is, right? But this is what it's saying that Enoch said to Lamech, right? It says, and now my father, hear me. No matter of fact, the 7 times grandfather after Adam, right? And then it goes down to somewhere Enoch is in there, and then it's Lamech, and then it's Noah, right? But it says, and now my father, hear me, for to my son Lamech a child has been born, who resembles not him, and whose nature is not like the nature of man. His color is whiter than snow. He is redder than the rose. The hair of his head is whiter than wool. His eyes are like the rays of the sun. And when he opened them, he illuminated the whole house. So they're saying that Noah's white.
Yeah, he's a light bulb.
Yeah, they're saying Noah's white. You know what I mean? There's other scripture here where his eyes is like X-rays, like Cyclops. Yeah, like
Christmas tree.
He said Cyclops.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, it really is in here. Right? So it talks about giants. And let's talk about this giant thing. Now, the giants that it's talking about were men of renown, right? Men with high stature. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm like 6'7", right? So when people see me, they be like, damn, you a giant.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Like I'm not that tall, because being tall is relative to where you're at, right? In the NBA, I'm a short dude. You know what I'm saying? But because you got cats that you would see in the NBA that's like 7 something, you be like, damn, Shaq's a giant. Like, damn, and he's tall. You know what I mean? Even what's his name? Shaq, right? Shaq is what? How tall was Shaq?
7'1", 7'2".
Yeah, 7'1", 7'2". How tall was what's the name in the scriptures? That tall Hamite. Goliath of what? 7, 8 feet, 9 feet, something like that. 8 feet tall, something like that. And he was considered a giant. You know what I mean? Somebody that's super tall, and that's what this is talking about. The book of Jasher, the book of Enoch, the book of Jubilee is for. As a matter of fact, they got mermaids in there. it's for like it's a good if you're into sci-fi. You know, if you're into sci-fi, you're into Lord of the Rings. It's like you into Lord of the Rings, you know what I'm saying? You into like a good sci-fi story, then you know those are the books that you need to get, right? To get you right. The the Chronicles of Narnia. What's that other one? The Chronicles of Riddick, all that kind of stuff, then you know that would be a good book for you to read. But you know, it has nothing to do with the scriptures. We just cut it, you know what I'm saying? In the scriptures that I brought out, just straight up cut it. You know what I'm saying? There's many more that I could go to cut more of it. And let's read about Enoch in, let me see, Jude 1 and 14. Let me see. Is this the one I want? Let me see. Slovakia. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something. Let me see. Genesis. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go to Genesis. What's this? Genesis 5 and 24. All right. Now, I'm going to read it just for time's sake, right? So in Genesis 5 and 24, it says, and Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Right? That's where people read about Enoch, right? So go ahead and read that in Jude 1 and 14, and then Hebrews 11 and 5.
Jude?
Yeah, Jude 1 and 14.
I got Jude 1 and 14.
All right, you got it.
Jude chapter 1, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's like, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam.
Right. So you see that? He was 7 times like in generation from Adam, right? That led to Lamech and Noah. All right, go ahead.
Prophesy of these, saying,
Mm-hmm.
behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints
Mm-hmm.
to execute judgment upon all,
Mm-hmm.
and to convince all that are ungodly among all of their ungodly deeds,
Mm-hmm.
which they have ungodly committed,
Mm-hmm.
and all of their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him.
Right. So this is a prophecy. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't say as is written. You see that? It doesn't say that as is written,
right,
because he's not quoting anybody. It's just a prophecy that he made, right? About how the Lord was going to, execute judgment upon all and convince all that's ungodly among them, all ungodly deeds which they have ungodly committed. You get my point, right? It's a prophecy that Enoch made, right? All right, Hebrews 11 and 5.
I got that. Kind of one kind, sir.
Uh-huh.
Here is Hebrews 11 and verse 5.
Uh-huh.
By faith, Enoch was translated
Uh-huh.
that he should not see death,
Uh-huh.
and was not found.
And what it said, and was what?
And was not
And was what?
found.
And was, say it, hold on. Give me that, and was not.
And was not found.
All right, so this is what this is talking about, right? 2 Kings, let me see, 2 Kings, I believe it's 2. 2 Kings, it's 2 Kings 2. Okay, 2 Kings 2, I'll read it for time's sake. 2 Kings 2 and 11, it says, and it came to pass as they still went on and talked that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and departed them both asunder, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind unto heaven, right? So the same thing happened with, Elijah, right? Same thing happened with Elijah, the same thing that happened to Enoch, right? So when it says, read yours one more time.
Hebrews 11 and verse 5.
Uh-huh.
By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death.
Right. So back here in Genesis 5:24, it says that Enoch walked with God and he was not. Right. He was not. Right. Now read that one more time. You don't got to read it from the top, but just read it from the beginning of the verse.
By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death.
See, and he was not. That's what it's talking about, seeing death. Right. So when it says that Enoch walked with God and he was not, he didn't see death, for God took him. Right. And we know that's what happened. Right. So is there a book of Enoch out there somewhere? I believe it probably got to be. Right. Because they have fragments of it in the Dead Sea Scrolls, but not a total compiled book. You see what I'm saying? That you could put together to make a book. Right. So what the oppressor did was he took a fragment like this, right, and then built a whole book around the fragment and said, this is the book of Enoch. You know what I mean? This is the book of Jasher. You see what I'm saying? This is the book of Jubilee. And they just added a bunch of stuff in there talking about how Esau is, the Lord forgave Esau. And in the scriptures, that goes against against the scriptures, because the scripture says that Esau had no place of repentance, right? He had no place of repentance,
right?
So even though he sought it carefully with tears, so either way you put it, it contradicts the scriptures, and this is why the Lord said, "I'm gonna go back to what we had before, and I'm gonna go back to." Let's go back to Isaiah 34:16.
Kind of one kind, sir.
This is the book of Isaiah 34 and verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
Seek ye out of the what?
The book of the Lord.
So go ahead.
And read.
Don't read this, right? You don't read that. You don't read this, right? And you damn sure don't get it from this person. Right. You see what I'm saying? This is the cat who translated the book of Jasher and translated the book of Enoch. Go figure. All right? So read it one more time, Warrior.
The book of Isaiah 34 and verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail.
Right. Nothing's going to fail in here. These prophecies that's in this book is not going to fail. Right. None of these prophecies in here. None of these prophets that delivered the messages in here. You want salvation? It's all right here. Right. This is a different one. This right here. This Bible right here has the Apocrypha in it. Right. So you got Genesis to Revelations right here. You don't need to make this with the book of Jasher. You don't need to make this with the book of Jubilee. Right. You don't need to make this with the book of Enoch.
Kind of one concept.
Right. If you want a good sci-fi movie, then yeah, read the book of Enoch. Right. It's good. It's Chronicles of Narnia. Joan of Arc. Yeah. It's it's a lot of, I mean, they even said in the book, Enoch, that they had giants who the giants started eating people, right? And eating the animals. They was grabbing the birds out the sky and eating the birds and eating the animals, right? And so it's like, what the hell, you know what I'm saying? And so the angels came and had sex with regular sized women, right? And then the women had kids that grew into giants that was 300 cubits high. So that's 500 feet. That's so even if she had it in her stomach, it would bust out her stomach. Because the baby would at least be like at least this big, right?
With a splitter.
But somehow she gotta push that out, right? Yeah, so
had to get a C-section.
Hopefully, man, y'all learned a little something today, man. That was a great question from the sister. That was a great question from the sister earlier. And don't waste your time. You know, it's time for us to get. Let me get. Damn, what's the scripture? Oh man, I had it right on the tip of my tongue. Hold on. All right, let me get Ephesians 4:14, goddammit. Ephesians 4:14, goddammit. Let me get it.
Slakia, sir. Here's Ephesians 4 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Ephesians 4 and verse 14.
Uh-huh.
That we henceforth,
From this point on, right? Everybody that can hear my voice, he that have an ear, let him hear.
That's right.
be no more children.
Be no more what?
Children.
Because that's what we are in America. Children. We got to grow up. We got to grow up. All the fantasy stuff we got to put away. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to tell you, you want to know who sees life in reality? Kim Jong, the people of North Korea.
Right.
They see life in reality. Guess who else see life in reality? The Chinese people. Guess who else? The people in Ukraine. Mm-hmm. They see life in reality. They're not worried about no giants. Right. Eating birds and eating people back in the ancient times. They're not worried about, cyclopses and mermaids. You know what I mean? They're not worried about that stuff. You know what they're worried about? Their people, right. And how they're going to get the oppressor off their back and how they're going to make sure that the oppressor stays off their back. Right. You know what I mean? They were concerned with fighting war. We can't be concerned with fighting war if we're worrying about giants and mermaids and dinosaurs and stuff that doesn't have anything to do with reality. Right. Because the reality is that we're getting dominated in our neighborhoods, right? We're getting dominated. And you notice I said neighborhoods, right? Because we don't have communities, right? We don't have communities. And I always say it, right? Because communities are what? Controlled by the families, right? That control the environment. Right. Now, do we have families that control the environment? No. So we have no neighborhoods, right? And no communities. And the neighborhoods that we do have, they're dominated. You know who they're dominated by? Those stinking Arabs who's selling us goddamn Hennessy all goddamn night, right? They're dominated by the Dunkin' Donuts and the East Indians and the Koreans and all the money they making off of hair. Right. Good night. Man, I wish I could get in that business. Go ahead.
If I could, I remember I was in school and they said a community is something or people that share a similar thought, right? And so by definition, we even still don't have a black community because we all think different. Yeah,
we all think differently. You know what? Those North Koreans are in one body, one mind, and one spirit. Yep. You know what I mean? And that like is amazing. Like I was watching that cat Kim Jong over there. He's 30-something years old. The Lord gave that. They put out another. They put out another episode. As I war. Remember we watched the one. They got another one out right now. It's on YouTube right now. Part 2. This cat is on a white horse, galloping in all his glory up to his people. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I want my own people. Right. I want my own people. And he's a supreme dictator. That's what I'm talking about. That's Christ right there. A supreme dictator. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody else is in power except him. Right. You know what I mean? And that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, the Lord gave him great power in the earth. You know what I'm saying? Over his people. And we can learn from that. We can definitely learn from it. What? Go ahead.
Not to trust the enemy.
That's right. Let me give you something. Right. And that's one thing they do know. That's right. They know the oppressor, the devil. That's right. He'll be like, it was small. They was like, yeah, we'll lift all the sanctions on North Korea. All you gotta do is give up all your nuclear weapons. He like, nah. I'll shut down a testing site. Right. They like, nah. So they left. They didn't have no peace talk. It didn't work in Singapore. They went back to Singapore. He like, we'll shut down the testing site. You know what I mean? If you give us the, the economy back, you know what I mean? The exports, because, they won't import anything into North Korea, because everybody's in the, the international monetary, what's that? The International Monetary Fund, right?
NATO.
Yeah, NATO and all of that. So they won't send them nobody, how it says you won't be able to buy or sell unless you receive the mark?
Right.
That's what it's talking about. It's not talking about, nigga, you going to the store and buying a bag of chips. It's on a bigger scale than what people think.
Right.
This is talking about commerce. And because Kim Jong understands that if he takes the mark, right? If he takes the mark, he's not going to be able to buy or sell on a world scale, right? In which is people are going to suffer and starve.
Right.
But he has enough integrity to where he says, you know what? Since I can't come up with no peace talks with America because they're the devil the Bible speaks of, and I don't trust them for one bit, I'll just let my people starve, and now we'll just make more nukes. We'll just make more nuclear weapons, and we'll just do that. And that way we'll keep them out of here at least. You know what I mean? And if we took that same approach, if we had the same kind of brotherhood that these other nations have, then maybe we'll have something that we can cherish, something that we can hold, you know what I mean, dear to ourselves, besides, Instagram and TikTok and sneakers and jeans and rap music and these stinking hoes out here. Right? Then we could actually have something. Then we could actually be on the national stage. You know what I mean? Being represented and not only represented, but represented and respected. Because out of all the nations that are there in NATO, where's the African American nation? Nowhere. You know who our leader is? It gets changed up every 4 years. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because it gets switched every 4 years. So it's hard to tell, right? Who's going to be next, right? But you get my point. And then when we start taking things seriously, start taking ourselves seriously, start having brotherhood, start having sisterhood, and not worrying about the little stupid stuff like Facebook. That is, oh my God, that is so dumb. I hope they just buy Facebook and just shut it off. You know what I mean? But if we put those things aside and we start to actually do what Christ said, right, in the scriptures, when he said that the kingdom of heaven cometh not by observation. We can get the kingdom of heaven. We just got to build it.
Right.
And the first thing we got to have is brotherhood. And we have to have a moral code to go by. Other than that, we can hang it up. We'll be saying Black Lives Matter until the year 3000. Of course, none of us will be here. But when we come back, we'll be raised up and probably, matter of fact, if Christ will return, man, when we born back into this place, we're not going to be called male or female. We're just going we're going to be babies. You know what I mean? So Christ got to come back, man. Right. You got to do it.
Right.
All right. So, hopefully, y'all got something. All right, sis, you got all the scriptures you needed. All right, no sweat. The what? Was Elijah abducted? No, he wasn't abducted. He was taken up by the Most High. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? Lad, go ahead and bring me up. On my way to work. You know what I mean? If you say he won't taste death, right? He ain't taste death, go ahead. I'd rather that than me, killing over like what's his name? Kevin Samuels. Right? Yeah, take me up in the whirlwind. Get up out of here. All right. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna turn the class over to Precinct Officer Mataziala.
Most High Christ.
Comic-Con. SUBK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Tithes, which is the commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in Hebrew, Ma'ashera. 10% for every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest funds, free will offering for the priests. It's not mandatory. It's whatever amount you like to donate. Upcoming holy convocations, we have the Feast of First Fruits, June 12th. That's on a Sunday at sundown, June 12th. Well, 7 o'clock service will start. If you're not working, you ought to make preparations to be here. It's a mandatory, it's a holy convocation. All right?
Right.
So it's a mandatory service. Come out. Wear your garments. It's a Sabbath. Am I correct?
Right.
It's a Sabbath.
It's
It is. Comic-Con. It's a Sabbath, so wear your garments and come out, fellowship with your brothers and enjoy some food, fellowship. All right.
Oh man, I forgot
we also have the it's not a holy convocation, but we also have the Midwest Fire Weekend coming up in Chicago.
Right.
That's on the, July 21st through the 24th.
Right.
If you're going, make preparations now. I believe the hotel information is out there already. So if you want to make arrangements properly. Seek what hotels that the ISUP can't have, so you can be with your brothers and sisters. All right. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. That being said, man, Pedro, Amazon Shabbat, Amazon, Barak, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shabbat, Barakatam, Yazmatah, Sarge means turn, sisters Amazon. We're gonna get the sisters courtesy salute. Man of Israel, Amazon Shabbat, Amazon, Barak, Yahweh Shema, Thumb by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Yazmatah, class dismissed.
Yo, you know what I forgot? Look at this. Enoch.
And you brought the dictionary over here.
Yeah, look. Enoch, apocalyptic literature written by various authors and circulating under the name of Enoch.
Wow.
You fuck that breakdown up.
What you say?
Fuck that breakdown.
That shit crazy, man.
Yo, you know what the funniest story in the book of Judges is? It was two. The Exodus. That joint is hilarious.
Where it said that he left Pharaoh. He killed Pharaoh.
You said that was hilarious. But you know about that creature that came out of the water and all it did was go on the roofs and unlock the doors?
Yeah. Shit is funny.
It said what? It's a creature that came out of the water because first the animals came, right? And the animals chased everybody into the house. But the animals didn't have anything to open the doors with. So he created a creature